The 10th determiner we will deal with in this class is the determiner few. The determiner few specifies the object indicated by the general noun as signifies that the number of the object is thin. The object specified by the determiner barely exists. The determiner few that has the trait of the pronoun indicates that the object specified by the determiner few as signifies that the number of the objects is countable but thin. The determiner few also has the trait as a pronoun. The pronoun few indicates the object specified by the determiner few. There is a clause. I read few magazines. The number of the objects indicated by the general noun magazines is specified as plural but thin with the description of the determiner few. The determiner few reveals the premise about the numerical standard of the speaker that the number of the objects indicated by the general noun magazines is thin. The determiner few to specify an object with the information about the number of the object reveals the premise of the speaker. The premise is that the speaker judges the number or the quantity of the object. The standard to judge the number or quantity of the object is subjective because it's the speaker who judges the number or the quantity. Let's suppose that there are 3 magazines in front of us. The speaker who specifies the object with the determiner few sets the premise that the number of 3 is little to the speaker. The 11th determiner we will deal with in this class is the phrase of determiners of few. The determiner few to specify the thin number of the objects indicated by a general noun forms a phrase of the general noun. We will study about the phrase of the determiner of few with the determiner few. So in this case, the determiner few and the general noun magazines form a phrase of the noun few magazines with the description by the determiner of the selection of the object indicated by the phrase of the general noun to indicate the determiner few are revealed to be plural. Let's apply this clause. I get a few messages. The determiner few and the general noun messages form a phrase of the noun few messages. The phrase of the noun few messages indicate the object, but we don't know about the existence of the object. The group of the objects indicated by the same phrase of the noun few messages. What if we consider the impact of all? The existence of determiner all means that the object indicated by the phrase of the noun few messages are plural as a group. Few messages, few messages, few messages, few messages, etc. There are plural objects indicated by the phrase of the noun few messages. That is the premise of to specify one of the objects indicated by the phrase of the noun few messages. The speaker specifies one of the selection indicated by the phrase of the general noun with the description by the predeterminer a and the determiner few. With the specification by the determiner a, the listeners can get the information about the perspective of the speaker to consider the existence of the objects indicated by the general noun positively. The speaker admits that the object indicated by the phrase of the noun few messages in this clause. This clause without the predeterminer a, the speaker does not reveal the admission that the object indicated by the same phrase of the noun few magazines exist. But with the specification by the predeterminer a, the speaker lets us know the premise that the speaker considers the existence of the plural objects with the same phrase of the noun few messages. Let's study about this clause. I get a few messages. The number of the objects indicated by the general noun messages are specified as plural, but thin, with the description by the determiner few. Firstly, the objects indicated by the phrase of the general noun few messages are specified into one of the objects. Few messages, few messages, few messages, few messages. The speaker wants to indicate one of the objects to get the definition of the transitive verb get. The objects indicated by the phrase of the general noun few messages are specified into one of the objects more than two with the description by the predeterminer a. The number of the objects indicated by the general noun messages is plural but thin. And the number of the objects indicated by the phrase of the general noun few messages is plural. The speaker wants to focus on the objects indicated by the phrase of the noun few messages, but the speaker intends to emphasize that the object indicated by the phrase of the noun few messages are one of the same object. By the specification by the predeterminer a, the listeners get to know the perspective of the speaker, who considers the existence of the object indicated by the phrase of the general noun few messages positive. The 12th determiner we will deal with in this class is the determiner little. The quantity of the object indicated by an abstract noun, a proper noun, or a material noun whose quantity is measurable is specified as thin, with the description of the determiner little. With the definition of the determiner little, the object indicated by the determiner little merely exists. The determiner little specifies the object whose unit is not agreed in the linguistic group. The object specified by the determiner little is indicated by abstract noun, a proper noun, or a material noun. The determiner little that has the trait of the pronoun indicates the object to signify that the quantity of the object specified by the determiner little is thin. The determiner little that has the trait of the pronoun indicates the object specified by the determiner little. There is a clause, I squeeze little sesame to get a bottle of sesame oil. The quantity of the object indicated by the material noun sesame is specified as thin with the description of the determiner little. The unit of the object indicated by the material noun sesame is not a grade in a linguistic group, so the determiner little specifies the quantity of the object indicated by the material noun sesame. Each grain can be counted with the number because the grain of rice or sesame is visible and distinguished with the other to indicate the object with the commonly used unit, that is a grade in a linguistic group. The grain itself is considered to be indicated by the material noun. The noun sesame to indicate a grain is classified into a material noun. As we compare the determiner few and the phrase of the determiners a few, we will compare the determiner little with the phrase of the determiners a little. We will start to study about the phrase of the determiners a little with the determiner little. The abstract noun, the proper noun, or the material noun specified to indicate the object whose quantity is thin forms the phrase of the noun with the determiner little. In this class, the phrase of the noun little sesame is a phrase of the noun to include the determiner little. The description of the predeterminer a signifies that the number of the objects indicated by the phrase of the noun to include the determiner little is plural. Let's apply this to the clause. The object indicated by the phrase of the noun little paper is stated by the speaker to focus on the only object indicated by the phrase of the noun little paper. But the speaker wants to emphasize that the object indicated by the phrase of the noun little paper is one of the same object with the predeterminer a. We can think of the situation like this. There are bundles of little paper. Little paper can be estimated like this. The listeners can think of the situation, the bundle of the paper or more than two. The speaker only wants to indicate one of the bundle. To get the definition of the transitive verb flipped, the predeterminer a signifies the intention of the speaker to specify one of the objects indicated by the phrase of the noun to include the determiner little. With the specification by the predeterminer a, the listeners get to know that the perspective of the speaker considers the existence of the object whose quantity is thin positive. The fact that the speaker indicates one of the object indicated by the phrase of the noun little paper is that the speaker considers that the object indicated by the phrase of the noun little paper exists. Let's study about this clause. The quantity of the object indicated by the material noun paper is specified as thin with the description of the determiner little. The predeterminer a specifies one of the objects indicated by the phrase of the material noun little paper. The number of the object indicated by the material noun paper is uncountable because the unit of the paper is not agreed in the linguistic group. On the premise that the predeterminer "a" is applied, the number of the objects indicated by the phrase of the material noun little paper is plural. So the quantity of each object indicated by the phrase of the material noun little paper is thin. The fact that the material noun little paper is described by the predeterminer "a" means that the objects are plural. Each object is uncountable, but there are series of the same object. Uncountable object, uncountable object, uncountable object, uncountable object. Then the speaker considers that the uncountable objects are countable as 4. With the specification of the predeterminer "a", the listeners get to know that the speaker considers the existence of the object indicated by the phrase of the material noun positive. The 13th determiner we will deal with in this class is the determiner many. The determiner many specifies plural objects to signify that the number of the countable objects indicated by a general noun is huge. The determiner many also specifies the object with the number of the object. The determiner many lets us know about the premise of the speaker to consider what number is huge or little. You can know the numerical standard of the speaker with the determiner to specify the object with a number. There is a clause, there are many apples. The objects indicated by the general noun apples are specified into plural objects more than 2 because of the description by the determiner many. The fact that specified with the determiner many, the premise that the object is countable and more than 2. The 14th determiner we will deal with in this class is the determiner much. The determiner much specifies a singular object to signify that the quantity of the uncountable object indicated by an abstract noun, a proper noun, or a material noun is huge. Compared with the determiner many to specify the object with the number on the premise that the unit of the object is agreed in a linguistic group. The object specified by the determiner much is uncountable. The unit of the object specified by the determiner much is not agreed in a linguistic group. So the object specified by the determiner much is indicated by an abstract noun, a proper noun, or a material noun. There are 3 examples. Here is much love. The object indicated by the abstract noun love is uncountable but specified into the object whose quantity is huge because of the description by the determiner much. The phrase of the noun much love, which is the subject described by the be verb, is stated behind the be verb. The speaker arranges the verb here to describe the existence in a clause place at the first of the clause to start the clause to emphasize that the existence of the object indicated by the phrase of the noun much love is close to the speaker. The speaker relocates the position of the verb the close distance. The second exemplary clause is this. The paper is filled with much Korean. The metaphysical object among the object to define the proper noun Korean is uncountable and specified into the object whose quantity is huge because of the description by the determiner much. The fact that the object indicated by the proper noun means that we have to figure out what the object indicated by the proper noun Korean. The definition of the proper noun consists of the physical object and the metaphysical object. The indication of the proper noun occurred with the clause. We can infer that the object indicated by the proper noun Korean specified by the determiner much is uncountable. The subject of the preposition with in this clause is the paper. The subject indicated by the phrase of the noun, the paper, must be something that can fill up with the paper because of the description by the past participle field that has the trait of the adjective. So, the object indicated by the proper noun Korean is the written form of language. Among the objects to define the proper noun Korean, with the statement in this clause, we can decide that the object indicated by the proper noun Korean is the language, especially in the form that is able to be on the paper. The third exemplary clause is this. Much snow is expected to come down this winter. The object indicated by the material noun snow is uncountable, but specified into the object whose quantity is huge because of the description by the determiner much. The object indicated by the material noun snow is uncountable because the unit of the object is not agreed in a linguistic group.